Hi guys, welcome back to the podcast. We're back again with another episode and we're here to talk about it, obviously, as you guys know. And obviously check out our playlist as well, our podcast playlist, if you want to see our journey on Love Island for this season. So yeah, we're just going to get straight into it, to be honest. What should we start with? I think the episode was a bit slow, but there was still there was ends of situations in this one. Yeah,
we should start with Ramel and Alima because that's where the episode really started, pretty much.
So obviously, Alima's done with the situation, which I knew she was going to be. I think we pretty much all knew it was going to be.
Based on what she has said, this should have been the outcome.
Yeah,
and it was the outcome.
I'm glad it was, because if she went back on it would have been really annoying. Especially with how Maddie was moving.
Yeah.
So so obviously. Yeah, well, let's talk about it, because
he deserved
obviously Ramel is such a dickhead. I'm sorry. Very disappointing. Even though let me not say I expected it of him. I didn't, because it was a shock. But I didn't trust him from the beginning. So to be honest, it shouldn't have been a shock to me.
I wasn't shocked. I wasn't shocked.
But I was shocked. I was shocked with how Maddie was moving the first chance he got. But at the same time, I knew he had it in him.
Exactly.
But obviously, so Alima laid into him.
Yeah.
And she didn't give him a chance to talk. Now, I will say he did deserve it.
Yes, he did.
But she didn't handle the situation very well. Only because, if you were never going to hear him out, then you shouldn't have agreed to talk to him in the first place.
You shouldn't.
What I did like was, before they even got to the fire pit, she said, I'm just letting you know it's starting. And I'm really happy she did that, because I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's what she did after that she shouldn't have done.
She shouldn't have done that. And you said that you was going to listen, you didn't.
Yeah, you didn't
because you
listen.
didn't let him speak.
Yeah.
So I feel like she should have just waited till the morning.
Yeah.
When she had calmed down. And it's no longer heat at the moment. Then you can have this conversation.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, because she didn't let him speak, that whole altercation was pointless.
It's true.
Yeah. It was pointless, and you're just causing the scene for what reason?
It's true.
Yeah, and I mean that's the only thing. He deserved it 1,000%.
Yeah,
did. She didn't tell one lie. She was speaking straight facts, and he knew it. It's obviously she could have gone about it slightly better, but like I said, she let him know from the jump. I'm actually done with you. No matter what you say, I'm done. I told you I don't do second chances.
Yeah.
And she stood her ground, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully
and
so.
I think because she even explained it the day after, and she was just like, what got her was that he was sitting there trying to explain it when there's no explanations. And 100%
it's not.
Because there is no explanation for what you did. So just own it.
And
but at the same time, you're not going to own it because you didn't think you did anything wrong.
Exactly.
And that's
the problem.
That's where the problem is.
That's the problem.
Then there's nothing to talk about then, because I'm hurt, you don't care.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to talk about.
I think she's using the wrong word there, because you should want to hear an explanation. There's no justification. As in, there's nothing to justify why you've done what you've done. You moved dirty at the end of the day.
People...
But, so it's not like... So the explaining is not a problem. It's if you're trying to justify your stupidness.
Yeah, which he was, to be
so
honest.
you should want to hear him out, which is his explanation. Yeah. As long as it's not the justification. But obviously he's trying to justify
he is.
what he's done.
Yeah.
So I think that's the word that should have been used. You're trying to play off that you did nothing.
Yeah. But at the same time, not everybody is like that, because let's say a guy, it doesn't really matter, but let's say a guy cheats on the girl, some girls don't want to hear an explanation because there is no explanation.
5%.
5%. So it kind of works in that way as well, which is why she got vexed, because it was like, you're trying to explain your bad behaviour. There is no explanation for what you did.
Apart from just apologising and just saying, I did wrong.
It's true.
I don't even know why Ramel didn't just enter the conversation saying apologising.
He doesn't care.
Because he doesn't care, exactly.
So he doesn't think he did anything wrong.
At the end of the day, she's right. There is no explanation.
Yeah.
Yeah, there isn't.
You moved mad.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah. It's true.
About anything else.
But he doesn't care.
Me even coming to even sit down and have this conversation with you, you're lucky. Because it's like...
Yeah.
But he doesn't care.
I don't have... There is nothing that you can say.
Even throughout the episode, he said bare times, listen, I have no regrets. What I've just done is what I would do in the normal world. That's fine, because you've just told us what you're about. At the end of the day, that's all it is. These situations show people's true character and what they would do in reality. He's told us enough times, this is what I do. So no problem.
But to be fair, though, in the real world, what he's saying is true.
No, it's true. That's who you are. Then that's who you are.
In the real world, that's how men move. Like, unless you're my girlfriend, I don't have no loyalties to you. So if I'm just in the seeing stage of the dating stage, where we're just seeing and talking, talking to each other, I can talk to this girl, all at the same time. Yeah. I have no loyalties to one person because you're not my girlfriend. Yeah. So, Ramel's not moving any different to how men move in reality.
But to take it that far, that's alarming.
And
that's alarming.
That's how they do it.
If you want to be kissing up multiple girls because you're dating multiple girls, that's alarming and that's red flags. Yeah, you don't need to do that.
But at the same time, I think, if Alima really made a mark on you, you wouldn't have moved like that. So this is what I'm saying about this. This goes back to the whole smooth talking thing and saying what I want to hear. Because if by calling her your queen, it means she made a mark on you. It means she has something about her that you like.
Yeah, which is why you came home.
Well, yeah, exactly. But then you come home, she's mad and hurt, rightfully so, and that's how you react.
He's a dumbass.
He has
no heart. He has no brain either. Because he's come out of the situation and kind of like putting it all on Alima. Like, why are you not accepting responsibility for your actions?
Exactly.
You are the reason this is happening right now. But you want to paint as if it's Alima just, blowing it out of proportion. She might be in terms of her reaction, but the core of what's going on is you. You're the problem here, and you're not realizing that every minute. I don't have any regrets. I don't find anything wrong with what I did. So you're just horrible.
Yeah, and
that's who you are.
And to think as well that Alima's only behaving like this based off of word. She hasn't even seen any videos.
Exactly.
Yeah. So come movie night.
Oh yeah. Even more.
That's even more so, because it's like.
And you know what it is, like, for me, like, I do think Ramel obviously deserved it because we know, like, because obviously we saw it. Alima didn't see it. We saw it.
He deserved it.
But at the same time, I mean, not everybody's, like, level-headed in that way, because for me, it would have been a case of, okay, I've heard this from the girls. I'm not saying I don't believe the girls, but there's always two sides to a story here. She went off like that based on one side. So that's why I would have been like, okay, I'm going to listen to you, but I'm just letting you know it's done.
But that's what girls do.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what Alima should have done. Because by you saying, I'm going to listen to you, then you have to listen then. But you weren't listening.
She just trusts the girls. So the girls said one thing and she was like, oh.
But obviously he deserved it 100%.
He did, but she handled it very poorly.
Yeah, I think so.
Very, very poorly.
I think so. But I think with Ramel, I think a lot of it was a pride thing. I don't think
he was
meaning everything he was saying. I think it's because Alima obviously went off on him and it hurt his pride.
Yeah, I don't feel as though Ramel doesn't care about her at all.
Yeah,
I don't believe that. I think, like you said, it's pride.
I think so.
I think it's just pride, and he can't humble himself.
Yeah.
So no one
cares. And he can't accept the fact that it's done because there is a reason why he came back to Alima.
Exactly.
There's a reason why. I'm glad she left, but there's a reason why he came back.
That's his business. He
just can't humble himself to accept the fact that
you messed apologise.
Up. And apologise.
You didn't apologise.
You messed up.
So stuff you.
Yeah, he's definitely a dickhead. Definitely.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that Alima gave it to him, and she didn't even cry.
Yep.
Yeah. Good.
She didn't cry.
Don't waste your
tears.
Because
there's no need to shed
your tears.
Yeah.
He messed up. Why are we shedding ice water? Like,
leave him.
So
it's good.
So from the looks of it, that situation's done. I'm glad it's done.
I'm glad
it's done. And I'm glad that the Tommy and Megan situation is done.
Yeah. So Tommy called it off with her.
Fully.
Oh my gosh. I don't like Megan. I do not like Megan because she just doesn't get it.
She doesn't get
Tommy will explain and explain and explain it. She'll roll her eyes, she'll walk off, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
He's literally telling you that he needed reassurance in that time because he felt like crap over what you did to him. And you walk off and then you go and tell Connor, I don't need someone that's insecure. I looked at the screen and I was just like, is she actually mad?
She's mad.
This is not about insecurities, it's about respect.
Exactly.
Why doesn't she get it?
How she even got to insecurities in that point?
Because that's the problem. That's the problem with women these days. Because you're allowed to do one thing, but when it's the guy, he's not allowed. And that's the problem with Megan.
Yeah.
That's the problem with
That is her
Megan.
problem.
Because when she did what she did with Connor, it was no problem. Do you think if Tommy had done that you would have liked that?
Exactly.
You would have let it. You would have not let that slide. Well,
Exactly.
but because it was you and you're the female, it's fine.
Yeah.
That's the problem with Megan. She can do whatever she wants. But, you know, if the roles were reversed, you would not stop hearing her mouth.
Honestly, Megan is off-putting. Megan is a walking red flag, to be honest.
She needs to go.
She's a walking red flag. She just doesn't... I don't like her.
No.
I think she did... I definitely think she did Tommy dirty.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, she did.
And she doesn't care about it.
She doesn't care.
Yeah, she did.
And she's blaming it all on him when it's like... But Tommy didn't do anything wrong.
He literally didn't.
He didn't do...
Literally
didn't do nothing wrong.
So
literally.
What are you talking about?
So, and to be honest, it just shows her true colours because, you know, you had one little blowout, one little disagreement, and you're already snugging next man.
Exactly.
So it shows your colours. It shows your true colours because in reality, if that's all it takes for you to go and look at elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly. It's true.
Yeah,
no.
She's got problems anyway.
And you know, not everybody may agree, but I personally do think that Megan and Connor are good together.
Yeah, because they're Betty and Bench. That's why. Because they're both as bad as each other. That's why.
Yeah, but you know, I don't
even look at them like that. I just like Connor. I
like
don't
Connor.
care about them together.
Yeah.
I don't care about Megan.
I don't care about Megan. And I think even more, like, before this happened, I was like, I really like them two together. But now that Megan is being shown more, I'm just like, I don't look like... Yeah, exactly. So that's all that's going through my head now.
Yeah.
But I do like Connor. And I don't personally perceive him to be as bad as Megan. Megan's definitely worse. Because Megan has no compassion. She has no sympathy. And she sees no fault for what she's done.
She's selfish. Everything's all about her.
How has Connor done that?
The only thing about Connor that I don't like is his dislike for confrontation is what has put them in this position.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because
he hasn't been
truth. Fully honest.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that is his fear and dislike for confrontation.
That's not my concern.
No, it's not. But I'm saying that
he's not doing it out of spite.
No, and Megan is.
Yeah.
It's not my concern.
No. I genuinely think that Connor is a nice guy. And he didn't mean to hurt anybody.
Yeah,
but he's a bit clueless like that because you have to be honest in order to not hurt anybody.
No.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I like him.
They're both as bad as each other, which is why like and like attracts. That's why they're now together. Because they're both as bad as each other. Megan is worse.
Yeah.
This is I agree. But Connor, they're both as bad as each other. They're both as bad as each other because Connor, had every opportunity, to tell Emily, I'm just not feeling you anymore. You know, just be cutthroat with it.
Yeah, he should
have. You beating around the bush. You're beating around the bush. You're trying to be too polite.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. You're lying to her saying that, oh, you're still my priority. You're still my number one. No, she's not. You knew from the moment you was talking to Megan, she was never your priority. Ever.
I disagree.
No,
because
was not.
You know,
he was going off of Emily.
He was going off her.
He was going off her, but he didn't say that, but he hinted it, and I do agree.
We saw it.
I do agree the beating around the bush because he does do that.
He does do that.
But when he told her she was the priority, at that time she was. This was probably like maybe after the very first conversation he had with Megan. So at that point, she still was.
Yeah.
But he was going off of her from time.
He was.
She knew that because she saw it.
Yeah.
So it's just like he wasn't straight up with it.
No,
but he was telling her from time. But I don't know what you want me to say.
No,
but
he was letting
her know without letting her know.
She's just a bit silly.
She was the one that was acting slow and clueless.
Yeah, but it's because he wasn't being cutthroat. You know,
I agree.
Some people this is why.
Out for
they need to just be said to be. Some people need it to be said to them directly.
Yeah.
The beating around the bush confuses them because some people are that slow.
Yeah.
And Emily looks like the way she's carrying on. She looks like she's that slow.
Yeah, she's.
You actually have to spell it out exactly as it is. I do not like you like that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm going off of you. Just say it direct.
Yeah,
she would have let you go ages ago. She probably would have brought that man back. Even if she didn't even like him, she would have brought him back anyway.
Yeah.
you're just not.
I do agree with that, but I do agree with that. But she's too slow to keep up because he was telling you this from time without actually saying the words.
Yeah, but then but then at the same time, she's too slow to keep up. But when you saw this, when she kept pulling you for chats, asking the same question all the time, you saw that she's slow. So then, therefore, when she's now pulling you to repeat herself, when you're now having to repeat yourself over and over again, you should have just got to the point where you was like, do you know what? I'm just going to say it as is. I don't like you.
Yeah.
Because what you're doing is not working. That's the definition of insanity.
Yeah.
You keep telling her, you keep beating around the bush, and then she pulls you again. Oh, I just want to know where your head's at. Yeah. Then she pulls you again. Oh, so I just want to know where your head's at. So now you've got to do a different approach because it's not working.
Yeah, it's true.
So no, sorry, they're both as bad as each other. Megan is worse, but they're both as bad as each other.
Yeah, I don't agree with Connor's movements, but I do still like him because I do think he means well.
Yeah, I do as well.
I do. But anyway, so that's that situation. So obviously, Tommy and Megan are done. Emily and Connor are done.
So now we've
got Connor and Megan.
Yeah. And then another couple, well, not really a couple, but they called it quits as well.
Ben and Yasmin.
Which is Ben and Yasmin.
Yeah, so let's definitely talk about this because, I mean, nobody likes Yasmin, so I don't really care. And serves you right. And obviously when he was saying things like, oh, that's why no man wants you. I said, yes, correct.
That's correct. And then he brought up Shay as well.
Oh, you're correct.
Yeah.
Very good.
You're lucky Shay chose you, whatever.
Yeah.
Correct. No man wants you. Correct. Maybe most irrelevant girl. Well, correct.
Well, probably correct,
Yeah. Didn't necessarily disagree with anything Ben was telling her.
No, she deserved it. She's a weirdo.
She did deserve it. She did deserve it. I have no sympathy for Yasmin, but I don't like Ben.
No, I don't really care for Ben.
Very, very immature.
That's fine. It's his age. That's immature. Expected.
Because how can we be having an argument and you're still on the same point? When did I say it was a Ben show? When did I say it was a Ben show?
You know them people.
When did I say
they have to keep? I hate that.
So annoying. He kept repeating it.
Yeah, because she's brought up that statement.
But why you still want it? No.
Answer the question.
No.
You said, oh, she said to him, oh, you're
acting like it's a Ben show.
You always act like it's the Ben show when it's not.
And then she moved on.
So, yeah, but she didn't move on because you can't just make that kind of bold statement.
It's true. You didn't explain what you said.
I asked you a question. When did I say it was the Ben show? Answer the question.
It's true though.
It's not true. It's not true. You don't. No, it's fine.
Answer the question.
You don't stay on the same point and we're having an argument. I've moved on already.
No, but
she's not even arguing. She's just
I think the problem was
she's crazy anyway.
Yeah, she's not right, that one. But the problem is, obviously, you've made a comment. Yeah. He's heard that comment and he's pulled you up on it. Yeah. The first time he's asked you, when did I say it was a Ben show? Just answer the question.
I understand.
Obviously, you didn't answer the question.
So move on.
The problem is that his immaturity when did I say it was a Ben show? When did I say it was a Ben show? When did I say it was a Ben show? That's just immaturity now. Because she actually just moved on. She shouldn't have moved on. Because you asked the first time, she should answer the question. But she didn't.
Yeah.
So how long are you going to say the same thing?
Like,
when we see them all like...
It's very. I was.
What's going on?
Laughing.
No, but you know, on the flip side as well,
she deserved it though. I still don't.
No, agree.
On the flip side as well, Yasmin is stupid.
Very.
For going over there to even approach him. Number one, because it's like, what leg did you think you had to stand on?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What leg did you think you had to stand on? She went over there, because she was like, she doesn't like the way that she's being painted to the boys.
Yeah.
But that's the way you carry yourself.
Exactly.
So
why are you so shocked?
Do you carry yourself
so you're walking over
woman?
there. Exactly. So you're walking over there to Ben with so much chest and so much vim, like wanting to defend your honor. Which honor?
Which honor?
Which honor? You're loose. You're loose. So why is she even thought in her head, I should go over there to defend my name? Which name?
And only to just sit there and just laugh.
Which name and which reputation?
And laugh everything off.
Just to sit there and do what?
And
she
laugh.
embarrassed herself.
And the thing is, and she did embarrass herself. She's not well. She's not well. Because how can you be having you're having a serious conversation. You're just laughing.
And she's just laughing.
You're not well.
And like, what are you doing?
No, you're actually not. You're actually mature. And it's just like, she's not well. There's actually something wrong with her.
Yeah, I agree.
And not even just that, like, you're crazy. Yeah? You're crazy because you're now I don't even know, like the third girl this has happened to now. So you're crazy for going there in the first place.
Yeah.
He did the same thing with Shakira.
No.
Who else? Who else has he been involved with? Helena? I don't know. Either way, it's always ended in the girl calling him immature. So why did you then go with him again and call him immature again?
Well,
do you not know by now that he's immature?
Well,
Why?
I disagree with that because I think Ben is the one that shouldn't have gone for her. Because all she can offer you is the sexual
Well, yeah, I know, but he's a child anyway.
I don't understand why Yasmin's still there.
Yeah.
Because any guy that comes is only going
I
for the sexual
understand that. I understand that. But she chose him in the recoupling. She probably had to. She didn't have a choice.
Yeah, he was the last.
That's fine. That's
fine.
But there's a whole thing of friendship couple. Why have we not had a friendship couple in this season?
Yeah.
If you're not into them, you're not into them. It's a friendship couple.
Yeah. But
don't get involved in anything. If you're not into them, you're not into them.
Yeah.
If he's immature, why bother? Why? Because all you want to think about is sex.
Yes.
And you are fine with it.
Well, this is
so
Yasmin.
don't now have an argument with him and say, oh, you're so immature. You should have known that though. And you do know that.
And
I don't care what you have to say.
That's all Yasmin's after. Yeah, but I'm still gonna, because obviously we don't like Yasmin, and like you said,
no,
she's there when she said, oh, like, you know, I just don't like how he's talking about you to the boys, blah blah blah. I'm just like, how else is he supposed to talk to you and you don't carry yourself well? So congratulations, you deserve it.
That's what
you know what I mean. But I think, like, I need to put it back on Ben because I really, from this, I genuinely don't like him. Because, and it's not because she didn't deserve it, it's just the way he carried on. We already said, like, the fact that he was on, when did I say it was a Ben show? That was very unnecessary. Then it was, every minute he was pulling something out against her. And I'm thinking, why are you acting like
this? That's what kids do.
Because all it showed to me was exactly what Shakira said. Which is that from the very beginning, you wasn't interested in Yasmin. And he said it as well.
He said it,
He said, oh, I didn't really care from the beginning. I didn't feel nothing, blah, 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 blah. So why did you go there? You're a dickhead.
It's true, but she chose him in the recoupling.
It doesn't matter. But like Shakira said, if you weren't interested from the beginning, you should not have entertained her.
It's true. Yeah, but you could be in a friendship couple.
Yeah, but
so he's wrong as well.
Yeah, he is wrong. Nobody's saying he's right, but he's a man. He's a man, and she offered herself on a silver platter.
She did,
and he's a man. So they're going to take it.
She offers herself to every guy.
That's just guys. So that is what he did.
Yes. And I'm not defending Yasmin, but I don't like Ben.
No. I don't care for Ben. I don't care for Ben. I don't care for Ben. But I'm glad he's the first and only one that has really told her about herself. She's disgusting and she needs to get off my screen.
Yeah, it's true.
She does.
So
she deserved it.
It should have come from somebody that did not entertain her sexually.
No, it's true. So
that should have come from somebody like Shay.
It should have come from Shay. But Shay's too...
Well, Shay did entertain her sexually, but he was into her.
In a way.
Ben was not into her.
Yeah.
So it should have come from someone like Shay, or I don't know. It wouldn't have come from any other guy on there.
But maybe Ben was into her, but then he realised the emotional side is just not kicking in.
But that's not what he said, because he's only saying that now. But in that conversation with Yasmin, he said, I wasn't into you from the beginning.
Yeah, but that just could be because they're arguing right now. Tensions are high, so I'm just going to say.
But like he said, he wasn't into her before. Then they had that one conversation and then she chose him in the recoupling. So like he said, there wasn't a lot of time anyway for us to for me to actually develop anything, because the minute we got recoupled, it was like straight from 0 to 1,000 and we're already indulging in whatever.
Yeah.
So he told you, well, you're in a couple. You're always together now because you're in a couple. So he was not into you before that conversation, and then you chose him in a recoupling. So the time wasn't there. He wasn't into you. The time wasn't there to now get to know you properly.
But now that you're in a couple, that's your chance to get to know each other.
Exactly.
Well, he just wasn't into her.
So that comment was irrelevant.
He just wasn't into her.
Exactly, which is why you shouldn't have done anything with her.
Listen, I don't know how anybody can be into her. I don't know how anybody can be into her. And when they were talking about, was it Ben, or when they were talking about it, that the emotional side is just not there, why are you surprised?
Exactly.
Why are you surprised? Yasmin has shown herself since she's come on the show.
Yes, she has.
She's not interested in the emotional side or getting to know people or the physical ties or building a connection.
She's not
interested in that. She wants to get laid.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
And then
she's made that clear.
So, I don't even know why they were even discussing that.
Exactly. Gosh, why are you surprised?
Look how she treated Shay.
Exactly.
No. And the thing is, from the conversation, what I was getting was, you're not even surprised because you didn't want that from the beginning. All you wanted was whatever you guys were doing in bed. That's all you wanted. So say that with chest.
I want Yasmin to go home.
I want her
to go home. She needs to come off this screen. I don't think I've ever seen somebody as bad as that on Love Island.
Yeah. She's mad.
You're mad.
This
is not the place for you. This is not the place for you, because this is Love Island, to build connections, or that's what it's supposed to be, and to find love. You are not here to find that. No. So I don't even know why you came on this show.
Yeah, and to like with obviously the fact that I don't like Ben from what he did, but at the same time, with all the comments he was making about her, she only brought that upon herself. Which is why I don't have sympathy for Yasmin.
There's no
if that's how you carry yourself, that's what you're going to get. That's how you're going to
get treated.
There's no painting. Better. Yeah, there's no painting whatever to the boys. Listen, all the boys probably see you like that anyway, because that's what you've shown to each and every one of them.
That's how you carry yourself.
So don't put it all on Ben, love.
Yeah.
That's you.
Yeah.
And now the men see you that way. It is what it is.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, look in the mirror and figure out how to change.
Exactly.
Because we all know that you're the problem here.
Mm-hmm.
We all
problem,
know.
So own it.
Yeah.
So
own it.
But
or change.
I do think that when he said, like, obviously no man wants you, that's when I was like, yeah, good. Serve riot.
They don't.
All the insults that came after, they were all true.
Yeah, they were all true.
Every single one.
They
don't.
Which is why she kept doing and
laughing.
That's why she kept doing it, because you have no legs to stand on.
And that's why all she could say was you're immature.
You should have never taken your 2 foot to go over there to talk to him about that. You embarrassed yourself.
Yeah, no, because he told you about yourself.
Yeah, she did.
Because you have no leg to stand on.
You don't, because that's who you are.
That's
why she even said she even said I am what I am, and I'm just like, what's that?
We know.
What was the point of you saying that?
We know.
Because then why did you take yourself over there to defend your honour then?
Exactly.
If you are what you are,
and she's so giddy about it, so proud of doing it. Took her 2 foot over there to go do what? To go and do what?
Yeah, she needs to get off.
She needs to go.
No, leave the screen.
She needs to go.
Leave the screen. And I'm glad they've got a voting now. And
finally.
This
how long has it taken
for a voting? And I hope she leaves.
I hope she
Anybody
goes.
votes her as their favourite girl is mad.
And like I said in our previous talks, she's only going to stay for pure entertainment. That's the only reason why the public will keep her on, is for entertainment. It's not for anything else.
Yeah.
It's not for anything else, because if she goes, if people like her, Dijon and all of that go, the show will technically be boring, because there's nothing to fuel us up or irate us or whatever. That's the only reason she'll stay. But she needs to go.
She does need to go.
She
needs to go. And I'm very glad there is a voting. I hope Dijon goes home. Anyway, I hope Dijon goes home. Meg needs to go home. Ramel needs to go home. Yasmin needs to go home. Ben needs to go home. Harrison needs to go home. Like you just said, everybody needs to go. Leave Connor.
Leave Tony.
Leave Tony. And kick everybody else out.
And leave Alima.
Leave Alima.
And leave Tommy. I don't really care, but Tommy's
okay, yeah, you can keep Tommy. Yeah. Kick everybody out.
Otherwise, everyone needs to go.
Obviously, we know everyone's not going to go, but everyone needs to go.
Yeah. So then,
everyone needs to go. So I hope the right people go. I really don't know who it would be. It might be Megan, based on what I've seen people say about her. It could be Megan.
That's only
but I don't know about anybody else.
I don't understand why she would go home before Meg, to be honest.
Everybody likes Meg.
I haven't seen no hate on Meg, if I'm being honest, so I don't know.
But obviously,
Megan could go.
But obviously, Meg, obviously briefly, because nothing happened between Meg and Dejana. These people just really, really annoy me.
It's just boring now. I don't even want to talk about them. I don't even care.
They need to go.
I don't even care.
But I was thinking, because of what happened, I was just like, I can really see these two lasting to the end.
They're really
and they don't deserve it.
They don't deserve that. To last to the end. They're really trying to
like Dijon, he's just pissing me off. You're annoying me. You're actually annoying me. You're really boring because all I'm seeing is you last until Casa, entertaining everyone in Casa and doing the same thing with my Meg. It's really annoying and it's boring. It's really, really bad. Why are we like this? And Meg just getting so happy, my boy and all that stuff. I just can't. I can't stand the two of you, man. I can't.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. They're annoying her. But I can see them lasting to the end. Or at least till Casa.
They better be fourth.
They're trying.
If they last to the end, you better be fourth.
They're really trying to be that.
Because that man.
And then obviously Tony and Harrison went on their first date, which I only like Tony, so I don't really care.
Yeah.
And because Harrison's a liar, so...
I just thought it was really weird though that they've gone on their first date and you're talking about other people's couples.
Yeah, and it was him.
Yeah. and it was him to bring it up.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't have nothing better to talk about.
Literally, you don't have anything to talk about?
Between get to know each other, you're on your first date.
And you can tell she doesn't want to talk about it. Why are you bringing up other people for?
Yeah.
But I really like Tony.
I do.
Like, in this episode, the way she was there for Alima.
Yeah, that was nice.
And there was somebody else.
No. I was going to say Megan.
There was somebody else.
She called another girl.
Yeah, there was somebody else, but she was there for Alima.
Can't remember who it was.
Even Shakira was there for Alima. And that's...
Oh, yes.
That was good as well.
She pulled up Ramel and told him about himself.
Yeah.
We're like, good.
Good. But Alima, that was the same night anyway as the emotions ran high, but she shouldn't have done what she did. She didn't need to pull Shakira off of him. But
that was childish.
Fine, whatever.
Yeah, but it is what it is. She's hurting. Like, she was
vexed.
Yeah, it's fine, man.
But I really like Tony.
Yeah.
I really like Tony. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's all that happened really in this one. We didn't get any previews, but obviously next episode should be the dumping. Whoever gets dumped. Mm-hmm. And hopefully the right people get dumped.
Hopefully.
Let's just see what happens. But let us know what you guys thought of this episode and what you're thinking of Love Island so far. Are we in the third week?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I think we're in the third week.
Yeah.
So let us know what you guys are thinking. Leave a comment for us. Obviously, we love having a talk with you guys. And stay tuned for tomorrow's talk as well.